All right, now it's time to assemble the booster. Hopefully this is easier. I'm not sure it will be, but the Starship, I think it'll be easier. There's no heat shielding to put on, so that'll be a plus right there. So following the directions on the website, you should do that too. And but I'm just going to show you, he has a video of doing it, which is fine. But some of the things like the polarity of the magnets, he doesn't really go over that in the video, so we want to make sure we get that right, as we talked about before. Okay, so we have two sets of magnets to put up. One is the magnets on the top of the booster, which is the hot staging ring. So these magnets need to be able to connect to the magnets we put in the vacuum engines of the Starship. So that polarity has to match up. So if you remember, I used my my bar magnet, my pen magnet here. So this magnet sticks to the poles, the pole at the bottom of these magnets. So if I put a magnet here and it sticks to this pole here, then we want this pole to be up. Is that right? No, that's opposite. Yeah, we want this pole. Yeah, let's see. Wait a minute. Yeah, we want this pole to be, the pole that's sticking to the magnet, we want it to be down in this thing. So we're going to try that. See if it comes out and sticks on it. So these go in these little slots right here. And I'm going to put it over here. And if it pulls itself over into the bottom of the magnet that's in the bottom of here, then it's going to work. So let's try that. Yes, it probably flipped. I didn't know it. It's possible it flipped there. I didn't see it, so I have to be a little more careful. Need a lot more glue on that magnet so that it doesn't pull out while we're using it in the future. Okay, so then the side up against my thumb has to be up. I'm going to put it in here. Some glue in here. That's enough glue. Yeah, I'm not sure which way was up. That was just slipped out of my hand. Try it again. Oh, that one came out too. Let's try this one. Okay, so this one is sticking. This side is up. Slide it in here. There. Okay, that side is up. That's one. This one is the one that works. Okay, that's the right direction. Pull this out. Up against my thumb. Keep it away from the other magnet. Slide it in. There, that's two. That last one. These neodymium magnets are great, except when you're trying to separate them. Okay, so last one. Pull it out here. Okay, keep that up against my thumb. Keep it away from the other magnets. I mean, worst comes to worst, I have to reprint one of these pieces, which is just be annoying. So there. All right, so I'm going to set that aside. All right, so that's the first set of magnets we need to do. Second set is this thrust puck. So normally the thrust puck has the motor engines on it, and it goes in the bottom of the rocket. Now normally I wanted to just leave that in there and just use locator pins, but if you want to display the rocket on the small stand and not bring the big giant thing, which I might have to do that sometime. I may not have enough room to use the big giant stuff, but I still want it to stand up properly. His suggestion is have this be magnetized, pull this out, which looks like it's possible. Once this is in here, there's a bunch of engines around the outside. Now the thrust puck sticks out slightly from the this one. So theoretically, I can pull these out because the engines on this one will be slightly taller than the other ones. I'm a little concerned about that, so let's see how that's going to look. So this is here, and this is here. Yeah, I think that's going to be too hard to do. So I think what I'm going to do is, there's a hole down this side, so you can, if you could take this part apart too, you can push on this, it'll come out. Just push on. So I'm going to make this magnetized too, instead of using locator pins for this segment. This is the bottommost segment. So we're going to have to put some pins here, some magnets here, and on the section that goes right above this, which is this one, I think. Yeah. Let's this line up. This is symmetric. I guess not. I assumed all those covers were symmetric, but they aren't. So I guess it depends on which side of the rocket it's on. Anyway, so we're going to magnetize this part too. So that's another set of magnets we got to worry about. Oh boy. Okay, so I'm going to do the same thing I did before. I'll use I'm not going to show this time. It's basically the same process. So I'm going to use this thing to make sure the orientation of the magnets in this base are all the same. Then I'm going to do the opposite for this, and make sure it actually sticks. Then I'll take this, then I can use this again and put these magnets in. See if I can get them out of there. And that's how we'll get these three pieces working together. So I'm not going to show that. It's just more of the same tedious magnet manipulation, but you get the idea. All right, so I put a bunch of magnets in. I put the magnets in on this one. And as I put them in, after I seated them with this thing, I used this plastic probe to make sure they're flat down on the bottom. I put these in, and I put these in. So I didn't put these in because you have to be opposite polarity of this and this. And I didn't put these in. This looks like it can go either direction. It doesn't matter. So I didn't put these in yet because they have to be the opposite polarity of these. So I'm going to wait till these are dry. Then I can drop a magnet on here and then make sure it goes in the corresponding piece properly. But while we're waiting, we can go ahead and put the engines in. So I'm going to put my gloves on for this part because there's a lot of small piece gluing, which means you're going to get some on your fingers, which I don't really want to do. I've already got some on my fingers this morning, but anyway. So we have, let's see, I think it's 13 engines here. Yeah, 13 engines here, 10 and 3, and then there's 20 around the perimeter of that, so we can put those in too while we're here. So I'm going to put these in first. So it's pretty simple. We just put a drop of glue, stick it in there, and seat it. So I'm not going to... Alright, all done. So these dry for a few more minutes. Got all of our engines. We need to put these magnets in, and we need to put these magnets in. So we can actually, I think these are dry enough now. We can probably put these in. So let's do that. So we use our same technique as before. We're going to take a magnet, put it on here. So now the top of this one has to go into here. Has to be into the bottom of this one. So we peel it off, which is easier said than done. But these are pliers, I think. We peel off with our pliers, okay. Then put this up against our thumb. The thumb needs to go down. Put it up against our thumb. Put some glue in here. Don't let it come off your thumb. Put it down with your forefinger, slide it in and pull it away. And then we're going to use this plastic tool, which is a magnetic, to do that. So, all right, we'll get the next one. All right, last one. Forefinger down, careful. Okay, that should be right. We're going to let it dry for at least a few minutes, probably 5 minutes. All right, so that one's done. So hopefully that'll all work out. And then this has already got the ones on the inside. They're going to go to that thrust puck as well. That the polarity should be correct for those, hopefully. If not, we're got a lot more printing to do. Okay, so now, as far as I can tell, this one is symmetric, so it doesn't really matter. It's slightly not symmetric. There's a little thingy right here. Let's see if I can find that. Yep, so that it is not exactly symmetric. So look carefully on one of the sides, side with the extra pipe on it. There's a little thingy sticking up there, a little pipe that gets bigger, and that corresponds to this bigger pipe here. So this is the bottom. This is the part we're going to put the magnets in. This part we're going to use the locator pins. All right, so now I already forgot. Well, we were going to double check it anyway. So, all right, so now we need to do the same thing we did with this thrust puck. We need to put a magnet on here, and then put the top part of this magnet down in the bait into the inside of this thing using our same technique we just used. So take a magnet off here. Hopefully these are dry now. So make sure I got the bottom of this. Yeah. So the little extra thingy is down here. So we're magnetizing this side. All right. So there's my magnet there. Let's see if those are dry. Okay, so that's dry. I'm going to put the part that needs to go inside the socket on my thumb. I'm going to put a drop of glue in here. Keep this away. I'm going to put my forefinger on top. The thumb. I dropped it. Okay. Start over. Glue. You have a few seconds with the glue, so if you do that, you're okay. I'll try it on this point. There's enough room to get my finger back. Yep. All right. I'm just going to show one of these. I don't want to show all of them. It's going to be too annoying for you to watch it. So, all right, try the spike again. There, okay. All right, I got one in. I use my plastic tool. Okay, so that's that. All right, I got a little bit wider view on this one because it's going to be we're assembling something big. So while those other magnets are drying, we're going to start assembling the booster from the top down. So the very topmost thing is the hot staging ring. And the one below it is the section that has the lifting points on it. So this is the part that the tower is going to catch when the boost. And actually, this is how they put the booster on the launch mount. Is the Mechazilla arms grab underneath these little lifting points here. So that's the second piece below, and this is also where the grid fins go. So this needs to go on top of this, and it doesn't really matter the orientation. As far as I can tell, for this part, we're going to start gluing stuff. So we're going to be using the locator pins. So what we're going to do is we're going to leave this. So you have to make sure the lifting points, the grid fins, are at the top toward the hot staging ring. Okay. And I'm going by the diagrams in his on the website. So we're going to put some glue in here and then put the locator pins in. Now these sockets here seem pretty shallow, but I guess the ones above are taller, so yeah, these locator pins stick out pretty far. And the bottom of these sockets aren't tapered, so I'm a little concerned about that. Hopefully this is going to go on there, else we'll have to pull this out. And these magnets. Is there enough room there? Should dry fit this, obviously. I'm not sure this is going to work. Let's put some locator pins on this side and see if it fits. Yeah, so that's not fitting. Then we're going to have to use magnets for this. Okay, that's annoying. All right, well, that's too bad. So we need to use magnets for this one. All right, so we're back to our magnets. Magnet fun. All right, I forgot to mention, these are the 5 millimeter diameter by 3 millimeter thick magnets. So you have to use magnets to connect the hot staging ring to the top of the booster. I'm guessing that the reason for that is that these used to be the top of the rocket on its original design, and then the hot staging ring was added, I think, on flight 2. So we didn't go back and change these to holes that would be compatible with the locator pins. So. All right, well, we bought enough magnets to use magnets throughout, so that's not the problem. It's just the magnets are annoying. So, all right, so give me the same process. I'm going to use my little magnet, my pin magnet, to grab a magnet, stick it in here, then do the opposite polarity up here. So, all right, so I got the magnets in here. I'll put the magnets in the bottom of this once these are dry. So from here on down, we're going to use locator pins. These holes here are set up for locator pins. So the next segment after the grid fin segment is this segment, which I think holds the CO2 tank. I mean not CO2. The methane tank, I think, is on top, and the oxygen tank is on the bottom. And then the orientation of this is, if I look at the diagram on the website, these little thrusters here, or they're probably vents, I think, are the one that's the side that's up is the side that's close, the vent is closest to. So this is the up direction. So in practice, showing this to somebody in the field and somewhere out and around, it's not going to make too much difference. Oh, actually, it does make a difference. This side is different. Yeah, there you go, another difference. This is the one that's in between. This is the next one down. So yeah, let's see. Does that line up? Yeah. Okay. There's some thrusters right there. So, all right. So that also tells you this side is up. So we need to do it that way. Okay. So yeah, there's another vent down here at the very bottom and some other detailing on these pipes. That's at the bottom of this segment. Okay. So now we're going to do the locator pins. So these are set up for locator pins. Okay, good. Cut this off here. All right, so we're just going to put some glue in here. And put a locator pin in. I should get my gloves on. You can see I got a bunch of super glue on my fingers already. Put some over here. The next one. I think there was a third one out there, but maybe I didn't get around to that one. Okay. We have extra locator pins, as I mentioned earlier. Hopefully that video came before this one. Some of them didn't print properly, so I made some extras. I figured something might go wrong. Okay, so now let that dry a little bit. Actually, I don't have to let it dry that much. We're going to go ahead and put some glue on the top parts of this and then just set it on there. Let's just glue it all together. Put some glue on here. We're going to keep it away from the edge. We don't want it oozing out. So we'll use these big surfaces here to glue stuff. A little bit on these little intersections there. All right, and then we're going to make sure these pipes line up, right? Okay, so that's this way. There's a single pipe on that side. So this side has two pipes plus, and the other side has one pipe. So this is the two pipe side. And this is the one pipe side. See that? It's a little bit oozed out, so we're going to wipe that off. I need to hold this for the super glue to set. Now we're going to do the section below that. So again, you're going to make sure these line up. So this is the side. Yeah, all this busy stuff here is this side that's coincident with this other busy stuff. And the other side just has a single pipe coming down. So just keep this in the same orientation. Put some locator pins in here. Be glad we don't have to deal with magnets. These are kind of annoying, but there's nothing like having to worry about magnet polarity. So, all right, and then we're going to put some extra glue around here. Put some extra glue in these tops of these thingies, and maybe a little extra glue here. Probably unnecessary, but All right, then the busyness goes together, so we get them in the same orientation. And we stick these together like that. Let's press down on it.
If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. Post a comment if you have any questions or ideas, and I'll try to respond. That's all for now, but more videos are coming, and if you want to see them, please subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification icon if you don't want to miss one. This is Beta Cygni signing out, and keep looking up.